Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan. If you didn't know, now you know. And today we have this steam off gel removal machine. Saviland sent this over to us to try out. Thank you so much, Saviland, for sending this. Let's unbox it. So when we open it, this is the first thing that we see. I believe this would be some instructions. Yes, pause to read if you would like. I'm going to peruse these off camera. Let's get this styrofoam out of the way. Okay, so we have some plastic cups. I believe these are going to go in the machine to hold the acetone. We have whatever these are. They're like rubber things. I think they go inside the lid for your fingers to go through. Let's get this. This is the machine. And we have some tools, a file, cuticle pusher, scraper tool, and then the power cord. Does this color look semi-accurate? I know I just had to mess with it because this is like a light lavender, but it's almost blue, I think, in there. But also, like, why does everything look so bright? Is it because this black lid? I think so. Color balance is wonky. Hate that. So anyway, we have a digital screen here and then some buttons. We're gonna have to plug it in. There's these little divots on the side for picking it up. There's where you plug it in. Here's the bottom with some information. This is where we open it. Okay, so we've got this facing the other direction and it has some of that already in there. Looks like there's an arrow saying you open it this way, but it's already twisted. Okay. And then there's one of these in here already. So those are spares. And then I guess that's where it heats. Okay. So I personally would like to do it this direction. That way I can see the screen. And so I guess we would turn it like, okay. Yeah, we would turn it like that to lock it in. That took a little bit of effort. And then you just stick your fingers down in here. Alright, let's have a look here at the screen now that I've got it plugged in. The button is just kind of like you push it a little bit apparently. It looks like it starts at 46, 45. I don't know if these are minutes or what they are. I'm going to have to look. But yeah, it's not like you don't clickety-click it. You just kind of tap it. And on and off. Okay, let's turn it on for a second. Oh, now it's on 0. Well, I don't know. Huh. Alright, I'm gonna let it sit and we'll see what happens with that red light that appears to be orange. It doesn't bode well for the... Oh, now it says 37, 38. Anyway, we'll come back in just a second. Okay, so it says when it's red, it's heating. When it's green, it's ready. And then when it's yellow, which will be over here, it indicates that the device is still warm, but the steaming process is over. So you steam while it's green. It also says to steam in a minimum of 5 minutes, but for best results, 10-minute increments. But it doesn't say what these numbers are for. Like, nowhere on here. I can feel that it's a little bit warm in there, but there's no acetone currently. Well, I'm going to do some more research, see if we can't figure out what those are, and I will let you know when I come back. And when I come back, we're going to test it out. You may have noticed I suddenly changed my background. It's to help give some balance because everything was looking weird colors. So hopefully this will help, even though, like, makes my skin kind of weird sometimes. But anyway, so best I can tell is this is a temperature for some reason. So it says, let's see if you can read this. So we have 5 ml to 60. You can read, there you go. 5 milliliters to 60 milliliters. So we have to put acetone in there between that amount. It says to use 5 to 10 millimeters of nail polish remover not included into the plastic reservoir. So about double what the 5 milliliter line is, but I'm gonna do both hands. Let me zoom this back out. Ha. I'm gonna do both hands. So I may have to add more, but we're gonna find out. I am going to use this Saviland Expert Pure Acetone. So we'll be testing not only the machine, but the Saviland acetone, which I can't imagine Saviland acetone is different than any other acetone. It's acetone, and it's 100%. So let's pour some of this in here. I'd say that's about halfway up. That's a good estimation. I got some over here on that plastic. Hopefully it's acetone resistant. And then we're gonna put our lid on. If I can not throw it down, that'd be super cool. No, this way, duh. All right, let me turn it back so it is locked in place. I'm not gonna turn this on just yet because I need to clip these down. So let me scoot this back. We'll get our tip cutter and I'm gonna chop all these down because we don't really want to be having to soak off more than absolutely necessary. These nails are super cute and you would have seen them on all of the socials basically ages ago because they were from Christmas. All right, we have our little bits and then I've actually got peel off nail polish base underneath the design, so I'm going to peel those off as well, and then I'm going to give the tips a little bit of a filey buff to thin them out. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got those removed and these are kind of scratched up and stuff. We're gonna turn this on. Wow, barely touched it. It's back at the 45. I don't know what the 45 is. I also believe that this tells temperature in Celsius, but that's not accurate. Now it says 21, 22, 23. So it must be, that must be the Celsius temperature and it's just letting us know that it's heating up. Maybe it just comes on 45 because that's just the starting spot. I don't know what that temperature actually is because we use Fahrenheit here at my house. It's up to 31. I can't tip it up to show you, unfortunately. We're up to 34, 35. Okay, so apparently 45 is where it is set to be ready because it beeped when it got to 45 and it moved to the green light. So I'm gonna put my hand in here and it does recommend to go for 10 minutes. And my fingers are kind of touching the acetone. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe you're supposed to actually be touching it and not necessarily just hovering above it. But I don't know if I put enough in here to be touching it all the way because some of my fingers are really short. But it says do 10 minutes. I'm gonna scoot this like that so I can put my arm on the desk and chill. And so I'm gonna come back in 10 minutes and we'll have a look. Okay, so I did a little bit of Googling around since the instructions didn't come with much. And apparently it recommends to use a higher temperature than that. Some of the machines only go up to 52, some go up to 56. This one goes up to 65. And so for soft gel, it does recommend to use a higher temperature. So I went all the way up to 65, even though it recommended going up to like 82, but I can't. So we are gonna pull out a finger and see about scraping it off. We'll start with the thumb and I'm gonna do it here. That way I can leave the other ones in and they don't cool and harden while we're working on this one. I'm gonna try and get this so we can see it. There we go. All right, so that's actually pretty wrinkled up. Look at that, ew. Come on off of there then. Wow, that is working a lot better than I thought it would. Now I do have a layer of hard gel on under my extensions, so that won't come off, but that is okay. Wow. It really softened it up around the edges where there was no nail underneath it. But here on top, where there is nail underneath it, it's not as softened. So I am having to do a little bit of actual scraping, which is just pouring on my mat because there's nothing to stop it from it at this angle. But it is just flaking right up. So either a little bit longer of a soak or doing 2 would probably be sufficient to get this completely off of here. It is still soft enough that I can keep scraping at it, but I think I am gonna just put it back in and work on the others a little bit, and we'll come back to it. Back in you go. Now my temperature on the machine did stay, it was at 39 because it had been cooling, but I'm just gonna turn it back on and let it start doing its thing. Let's get another finger out. Set it on this paper towel so we can have a look-see. And yeah, this one is also nice and soft and scrapable. So far, I am pretty pleased with this machine. I'm not pleased with how difficult it is for me to rub this wand off on this paper towel, but that's a me problem. All right, and then yeah, that one's gonna go back in for some more time while I work on the others. And I'm gonna come back when I get all of them scraped off and we do another round, and that should be everything, but we'll see. Okay, so let's have a look here. I think you can see what's going on pretty well. I'm trying to put it at a height that's not blurry. Okay, that's better up here. So after the second go round, there really wasn't much left to scrape because it did get it, and it actually kind of went down into my hard gel layer a little bit. It was softening that up somehow, but here's the ugly part. So it makes your nails kind of curl up, which is okay. Like, that's not going to hurt them. They are going to straighten back out. This side, I've got, see, like a little chunk missing in my hard gel, so I'm gonna have to file that to make it smooth. But I mean, that's kind of weird looking. It is a little uncomfortable, and I'll tell you what, this machine gets really warm. So like, you can feel that heat. You may want to work with a lower temperature if you're a bit sensitive to that, and try not to stick your finger in the acetone, because that is going to be much hotter than the steam. Overall, I am pretty impressed with this machine. While I work on the other hand, this one, see the difference they've gone from? This one's gonna get to rest, and these are gonna uncurl a little bit. Now, I do already have a pretty strong C curve naturally, so it wouldn't curve this much on someone with a flatter nail bed. But I will check back in once I've finished the other hand so that we can see how this one is actually looking. So we're back with this hand. Now this one, I didn't scrape off as much of the hard gel as the other. So I'm gonna have to do a little buffy buff, but it does come with some buffing stuff here to smooth it on out before we go in with some new application. This one also didn't pinch as much as this one, but this one was the more experimental hand, so it did end up being in there longer. I have a chip in my thumbnail here. That's all right, we'll file it. So, one cool thing about this machine is after you start it and it gets to the green light and says it's ready, it actually beeps again after 10 minutes so that you know you have completed your 10 minutes time, which is super cool. And I think next time I use it, what I'm gonna try is doing my soak and then just wiping it with a paper towel, because it was so soft and it just like slid off in gumminess. And so I think that actually could have worked, and I wouldn't have had to do so much scraping to try and get it because I'm just pushing it around. But I want to open this and look inside and see what it looks like. You really are going to save a ton of money on acetone doing it this way instead of soaking it off with a bowl, because you have to use a lot to submerge your nails, and I didn't need to submerge them in here. Okay, so here's what we've got. Looks like there's a bit of a chunk here because it did fall off a little bit. That's okay. And it's still about this deep. Pardon it being so zoomed out. Let me see if we can't get closer. There, now you can see. So it's about this deep. So there's actually a good amount left. I didn't need to put that much in here. Let's see if I can see the 5 milliliter line. I can't. I think it's still underneath or on the other side. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely didn't need to use that much acetone. But as this was my first try with this, I didn't know what I was doing. And so then you can just take this out and then dump it and clean it up and dry this inside out with a little bit of paper towel. Perfect. So yeah, not so bad. I am going to clean the rest of my hands up because I've got dried gunk everywhere. And then I'm going to wash them. And then we're going to come back one more time and look and see how they really are. All right. So we're back. Let's look. That doesn't look half bad to me. Now this one, I am going to need to like pick at it a little bit because my hard gel has a ledge here. And ideally, we want to get that up. So I may have to, yeah, I think I can. And especially because there's like some lifting in there. So I'm going to have to go and file this down so that we can get that completely off of there because we don't want to build product on top of that. But let's zoom in. There you go. Look at that. Those look great, actually. Like, compared to what they looked like a minute ago, these look really fantastic. They feel good. I like it. I think the machine worked well. I like that it only takes a little bit of acetone. I like that it beeps to indicate your time. I like that it gets up to a hot enough temperature to melt soft gel extensions. Apparently I didn't get all the gunk off my knuckles. It does, you know, come with its own cleanup after because it gets a little bit all over your fingers, but that's okay because soaking it in a regular bowl does too. I think that you may be able to just wipe your product off depending on the product you're wiping. Now these are really meant for gel polish and I have no doubt it would work super well with gel polish and probably wouldn't even take the whole 10 minutes. I'm going to leave the link down below, of course, for this machine, but I would definitely recommend. So here it is, the Saviland nail steamer machine. Easy to use, pretty affordable, actually. It was a great experience, left my nails feeling and looking healthy and sturdy. I like it. I think this is going to become my go-to method, which is saying something. So there's that. Definitely do make sure you are subscribed so you're not missing my content. Make sure that you are following my socials. Sometimes I post things over there that I don't post over here. And definitely hit the like button if you like this video. The algorithm thanks you and so do I. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of this machine and if you have one and if you like yours or not. And if you feel like I could have done something differently with my experience. Thank you again for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.